Hey, good morning. This is Saturday morning, October the 3rd. I went outside to do a video and got walking around out there and it started raining. So, well, this thing won't work. So we come back in here. You know, it doesn't matter where we're at. The important part is getting this out. That's the important part. So, I know it's nice being outside. I like going out there, but rain is as it is, you know. So we'll stay in here and we'll get this thing put together. Good morning, Marcia.
Good morning.
We have our son-in-law went up to get turkeys. Well, he went looking. I don't know if he's made it back yet, but they're up there in the timber. We've got 2 people up there. So we'll see if they come back with something. The rain sure makes things quiet in the woods. You get up there and it quietens things up with rain on it. It's pretty nice. I like listening to it. You get up there in the timber and it's still raining on you. Sometimes you can hear it coming. Get off the rain coming in, and as it moves through, you can hear it hitting the leaves and just hear it coming like a wave of a breeze. You know, you can watch that in the treetops. I like watching the wind dance in the trees. It's pretty neat to see. But anyway, today's reading is off of Ephesians chapter 2. Started it today. And verse 1, which is pretty neat. I don't know how many verses this has in it of Ephesians chapter 2, but I had this started out in a tablet, and it looks like I want to fill it up and have to start another one. I thought a tablet was big enough, but I don't think it's going to be, because there's a lot in Ephesians, and this tablet is 100 sheets. It's 100 sheets, and I'm that far into it, so it ain't going to be enough room to make it. I'll have to get another. All right, so we'll get this kicked off. Now, this is out of Paul's writings, because we stick with the risen Christ revealed himself to Saul, who became Paul, and that's our apostle, and I stick with that. I don't know, as far as the rest of the scriptures go, I understand that the rest of all scriptures wrote for us. We can glean and learn from the whole thing. But it's not all wrote to us. Paul's writings is wrote specifically to the body of Christ, and that's what I stay with is Paul's writings. I've never studied much into anything other than Paul's. I did study for a while on the salvation of all, and I've done that for a couple of years. But then I realized it's through Paul's writings that we are announced that it's all mankind. You know, it's through Paul's writings. So here we go. We'll get this thing kicked off and see where it takes us. All right. And you, being dead to your offenses and sins. So we're dead to sin. That through Christ. You know, Christ had defeated sin and death. So in his life, he died to sin, and we died to sin also through Christ. So that's how that plays out. And so anyway, the references to that is as follows. If there is a soulish body, there is a spiritual also. Thus it is written, the first man, Adam, became a living soul. The last Adam, a vivifying spirit. And what the transcendent greatness of his power for us, who are believing, in accord with the operation of the might of his strength, which is operative in the Christ, rousing him from among the dead, and seating him at his right hand among the celestials. We also, being dead to the offenses and the lust, vivifies us together in Christ. In grace are you being saved, and rouses us together and seats us together among the celestials in Christ Jesus. is God, who rouses him from among the dead, you also being dead to the offenses and the uncircumcision of your flesh, he vivifies us together jointly with him. If then you were roused together with Christ, be seeking that which is above, where Christ is, sitting at the right hand of God. Be disposed to that which is above, not to that on the earth. For you died, and your life is hid together with Christ in God. Whenever Christ, our life, should be manifested, then you also shall be manifested together with him in glory. This dog wants to go outside. For the love of Christ is constraining us, judging this, that if one died for the sake of all, consequently all died. And he died for the sake of all, that those who are living should by no means still be living to themselves, but to the one dying and being roused for their sakes. We also, being dead to the offenses and the lust, vivifies us together in Christ. And grace are you being saved. This then I am saying and attesting in the Lord, by no means are you still to be walking according to those of the nations are walking also, in the vanity of their mind, their comprehension being darkened, being estranged from the life of God because of the ignorance that is in them, because of the callousness of their hearts, who being past feeling in greed give themselves up to wantonness, to all uncleanliness as a vocation. Now all that which is being exposed by the light is being manifest. For everything which is making manifest is light. Wherefore he is saying, Rouse, O drowsy one, and rise from among the dead, and Christ shall dawn upon you. Yet she who is a prodigal, though living, is dead. And that's the references to that. Count that one done. Won't add anything to that. All right. There was one verse here. This is the verse that I pointed out to that lady in the church and to that group at the Bible study. The salvation of all. See, that's Ephesians 2 verse 5. We also, being dead to the offenses and the lust, vivifies us together in Christ. In grace are you being saved. And that right there, they could not understand that. And it made them mad. Yeah, she was upset. And, but, you know, until God opens their eyes, they can't see it. And so that's where that's at. And we'll leave it like that. All right. So it's been a run for me to go from that time till today. I've learned a lot, and it's all through Paul's writings. You know, this has been an enjoyable adventure for me, and it just comes alive. You know, these scriptures just come alive. It's just, there's so much joy in this, in the book of Ephesians, but all through Paul's writings. You know, there's no condemnation in Christ. Ephesians or Romans 8:1. None. So if they could, and they can understand the sin factor is taken care of. Turn over here to Romans 8:1 and 2. Nothing, consequently, is now condemnation to those in Christ Jesus. Nothing. Not according to flesh are they walking, but according to Spirit. For the Spirit's law of life in Christ Jesus frees you from the law of sin and death. See, so we've got that, and that's what we do. You know, we live on according to the scriptures of Paul's writings. So anyway, Marcia, you got anything you want to add before I wrap this one up?
No.
She's good. We got this gathering coming out, and we just had a hardwood floor put in we've not got all the trim put together yet, and but it come together pretty good. It turned out awesome. And this is the room we're going to have our meeting in. So
if it's cold.
If it's, you know.
It's warm outside. You guys are going outside.
Marcia says we're going outside. We'll see how this comes together. It'd be neat, you know. Have a brush arbor meeting. Y'all ever hear those? Yeah, those was always when I lived with Mom and Dad there in town. One of our neighbors was Pentecostal, and they'd have a brush arbor meeting every year, and you could hear them, you know, all over the hillside out there in the country. You could hear it, and it got pretty loud at times. But anyway, there's no shouting in this. You know, it's right there, and if you can see it, you can see it, and thank God for that. So anyway, it's time to get the day going. Let it rain. It'll change the color of the leaves and they'll fall off. So anyway, we'll get going and see what God's got lined up for us today, shall we? I'll talk to you all tomorrow. See you then.